So a lot of questions may come up in terms of how to talk to our children about the coronavirus. As a parent, just over the last few days, my kids have come to me and had questions, and I think a lot of us then have questions as far as how do we do this? How do we talk to our children about the coronavirus? The situation we're in is really unprecedented. We've never seen something like this on a global scale in terms of how the world is responding to the coronavirus, and that can be alarming, quite frankly. And seeing, states activating a state of emergency, having the president announce a state of emergency, raises the alarms even more to understand that. And I think it's important to be able to sit down and talk with our children and explain things to them. And there would be three things that I would recommend in doing that. Firstly, it's important to be calm. Even if we feel ourselves having emotions stirring and being unsettled and anxious, to really be an adult and be calm about talking with our children. And in order to do that for ourselves, it's probably important for the second thing to be informed, that we really need to understand what is going on currently and be able to explain this to our children. And on a third level, we'd want to be reassuring with them. As far as understanding what is happening right now, the states of emergency have really been activated for the purpose of getting resources and being able to respond as best we can to this as efficiently as possible, utilizing those resources. And as far as sporting events and schools shutting down and large gatherings, this virus tends to have about a 14-day window in which it might manifest once somebody's been infected. And so it makes sense that for about 3 weeks, maybe a little longer, having a period where we all just kind of slow down and don't engage in some of those things and allow the disease to show up and hopefully not be infecting other people. So we don't want to engage in other things that really aren't unnecessary, to really do stuff that we need to do, but being very cautious and judicious about how we do that. If we can be informed, understanding this, additionally with that is understanding that this virus is pretty infectious, but the risk with it overall is relatively low. Unless we have other illnesses or we're heightened in age, the risk with this is going to be relatively low, and probably even getting infected would be little to having a cold-like symptoms or something. Getting out there, reading, looking on the CDC website, looking on the World Health Organization website, looking on your state Department of Health website, and really looking at what information is out there to understand it. And depending on the age of your child, maybe doing that together. Hey, let's try to understand this thing. To be reassuring, to say this just like the flu season, other outbreaks we've seen, these things come and they go and they pass. And as far as reassuring for me, I'd say it's pretty heartening to see what has transpired on a global scale. This has never happened, and it can be alarming that it's happening, but outside of war times, we've never seen the level of collaboration that's happening now to really have a response to this. And I'd say that's pretty fascinating. That's pretty inspiring that humankind can get together and do something like that. Really sitting down with your children, if they're asking questions, be willing to talk with them about it, and even raising those questions with them. So you want to be calm, have a level of confidence in terms of what you're doing. In order to do that, be informed, educate yourself, and to provide some reassurance that we will get through this.